Hey guys, and welcome to another money making video on my channel. So with how well the previous episode went on fletching, I've actually got another fletching money maker in this video, and it's going to be a lot better than the previous one. Now don't get me wrong, Onyx bolts made a lot of GP per hour and was very much a lower level entry method than this method. This is going to require 95 fletching because we are going to be tipping the Dinoarrows, which I've made a separate video on how to make and have a very good profit with some of the anima of the Elder Gods from the God Wars Dungeon 3. To give them different properties, but also change the price of the arrows themselves. So for each set of arrows you're going to make, basically do it in sets of 15s. So you need 15 dino arrows and 45 of the animas. So for each arrow you're going to need 3 animas, which isn't too bad. They are relatively cheap, apart from 4, which is the most expensive out of the lot. Now that will reflect the price of the arrows as well. 4 is generally the more expensive out of 4. But each can sort of rise and drop at certain times, depending on updates and depending on which one's in more demand. And that's why I always recommend that before you put an offer in to buy at all, you always check the wiki to work out which one is the most profitable. Now on the wiki it has a very good tracker on which one makes the most money and has all the options on one page, so you're not having to look for different tabs. All 4 arrows are available on the same page, and they've just got different tabs to show you which one is making what profit at what time. And it's quite an easy and seamless way to go through all and to find which ones make the most money at a given time. Now when doing these arrows, there are some items which can make it a lot more profitable and a lot smoother as well. The portable fletcher has a chance to save a resource, whether it be the arrows or the anima. The brooch has a chance of also proccing that effect of the portable fletcher more often. It is expensive for what it is, but if you are buying one with the intent of doing a lot of portable skilling, and if it's available to you, definitely use it for this method because it will help save more money as well. And the fletching cape as well also provides a chance to do some extra bolts and arrows whenever you're procking or making them. So just go over prices and just prove I'm roughly where I need to be. These have bought the mid at 3890. The animas have all bought here roughly, but apart from the jazz, which is a little high, and 4, which is normally high, the other 2 are quite cheap. At the minute, I believe Wen is one of the best ones as well, and that is the cheapest one because it comes from the Arch Playsaw. Now, the only slight issue I've found with this one is that the animas are on a trade limit. You can only buy 5k every 4 hours, which if you're wanting to stock up, again, this is something where you can put an offer in the GE, let it buy over time while you're doing something else, whether you're slaying or doing another skill. And then when you have a batch of supplies ready to go, you can just do that all in one go. Get the optimal XP, get the most profit at one time, but also not be sat waiting at the bank just for these items to buy. So just going somewhere a bit scenic, and it will be the subject of an update coming very soon. The Fort is going to be having a new quest released next week, so there will be a video on update and going over what the quest is. I do think it will bring some upgrades with it for the Fort, and hopefully some nice updates as well, which can build off the really good start that Jagex made at the beginning of the year. With this fort, the fort's now built, it just needs something to act upon as well, just to make sure it's beneficial and not something which is just thrown by the wayside after the first update. The portable fletchers, let's get making some sets. So if I do a couple of jazz sets, I'm only going to do 5 of each, and then I can just compare the different prices. It would help as well if I put on the fletching cape. Unlike broads, these arrows actually let you make up to 60 at a time. And as you can see by the XP, you gain 350 XP drop per set of arrows you're making. So it's actually really good XP. And it's actually quite a couple of ticks per action. So you've got quite a lot of AFK time as well, just to be able to sit back and let it go. So because it's 350 XP per drop, you can actually clock some serious AFK XP with this. And that is probably what I would do. I'm not sure if I'd do this on a noob account because at the minute, Onyx bolts work really well for me because it gives me some mage XP as well. But if I was looking for some fletching XP, which is very AFK and quite high XP per action, this would definitely be a decent method. If I really wanted to on this account, it could also be an option. But going towards 120 fletching, it can be a bit tedious to get the supplies. The buy limits for the anima is really annoying, so it does take a while to buy. So let's just price check. So for a full arrow, it's just over 4k, and the price of a full arrow is 3.9. Now what you got to imagine as well is with the savings you're going to get from things like the fletching cape, the portable, and the brooch, you will get profits off this. The gap in profit is so small, you're literally talking 100 GP per arrow. So just confirm, I just checked the wiki and it's got a chance to save both. So that is where your profit's coming from as well. Even if you're making an arrow which it technically loses 100 GP per arrow, there is a chance to make profit just from what you're going to be saving as well, which is always worth considering when picking an item. Me personally, I probably wouldn't pick something which lost. I'd probably pick the best arrow out of a lot just to see if there is a chance to get profit just from the off. So for a Wen arrow, it's just over 3.9k. So the Wen arrow is 3.7. So again, you're going to be making the money from saving the resources. The Jazz arrow is a price of just under 4.2k. Again, that is under. And then for the final one is the Big arrow, which if we go with free anima, which again is under the price for that. So what I want to do, just to make sure that this guy does work and just make sure it's actually worthwhile doing, I'm going to basically use the rest of my dino arrows on just one of them. Now, I think the best one was the full arrow, so I'll just make sure that is the case. And then what I'll do, I'll just use all these dino arrows here, then come back with an update on how much I've made or if I've lost, and then it just gives a bit of a bigger sample just to make sure it's definitely worthwhile. And I can also check the fletching XP. Yeah, so that was the best one. So we'll make the full arrows now. I'll just go and get some more portable fletchers. Right, so if we just do a quick price check of the dino arrows. So all in for these arrows, we're going to do 9 mil. So I'll go and crack on now with making these. Just get with doing something else, and I will come back to you at the end when I've made all these dino arrows, just to go through the profits and whether it was worth doing and whether this video was worth showing. Either way, it's actually very nice AFK XP, even if you do lose a bit. So this might be an alternative to broads if you've got the sheer time to buy the anima. But let me see how we do in terms of profits. The 39k for a full transaction is actually not too bad either. Pretty high XP for quite something so AFK. That was pretty much just under a full 5 minutes as well. So I'll just finish the last of these and I'll come back. So that is the portable, just with 1 minute left remaining. I'm just finishing the arrows there. So you're going to make just over 10k, more around 11-ish per hour, which isn't too bad actually. And the XP as well was very, very good. I got probably about 100k XP there. It was pretty chill to be fair. For each 60 block of arrows you're making, you're just getting under 39k XP, which is very good. That was with double XP though, so 20k is still pretty decent. I'd probably save these for a bonus XP weekend because you are going to be taking the time to buy a decent amount. Now, before we put the arrows in, beforehand we price checked all the materials. It was just over 9 mil. We're going to put the arrows, and that is 11.1 mil. Now, one thing I did notice is that the brooch of the gods and the fletching cape and the portal went to work. So that is why we made such a big profit, is because we've surely saved so many resources. We haven't made money on the arrows, but we've made money on what we've saved through the use of portables, fletching cape and brooch of the gods. So what I would say, if you want just pure fletching XP, I would just simply do the onyx bolts. They're consistent, they'll never really crash because of the out price, and they're always there. If you've got the brooch of the god, the fletching cape, and access to portables, which everyone has, this is a method, but it's definitely a slow buying method. It's definitely not something you're going to be doing and then going off to do it as soon as you bought it. You need to spend time to put the offer in a GE, buy it gradually over time, and then once you've got a stack of like 20, 30, 40, 50k, if you want some AFK time, this will be a great AFK method to make quite a lot of money. So that's 2.2 mil in 15 minutes. This could be anywhere up to 7 to 8 mil per hour. Obviously, depending on the price, that will be the big question. I will go off to the GE now, because you know we always like to make sure that these are definitely real. We don't want to be selling any dreams here, and we want to make sure that the profit we're saying you're going to make is actually what you're going to make. But in terms of the method, actually, this is really good. I will be putting offers in a while to buy some arrows. So ignore the GE because that's some different matters on what I'll be doing in the future. So yeah, the arrows pretty much sell for mid. Obviously, we've lost a bit due to tax, but you're still making just under 2 mil per 15 minutes with the arrows. But yeah, pleasantly surprised. I was a bit worried when we price checked the other arrows that they were at a loss, but I didn't realize just quite how much the brooch, the portable, and the cape will actually save in terms of resources, and that's pretty much where the profits come from. And that's why a lot of things at the minute like herb lore and crafting make so much money, is because of all these new items in the game which actually save resources. So you don't need to make profit on the item itself. What you can be saving through those newer items now can either bring a skill into profit or make it even more profit than it was always making. So that's it in this video. I know it's another fletching guide, but I thought this one was quite higher tiered compared to the other one, which is a bit lower. I have got a much lower level fletching method, which makes a lot of money, which I have done a video on a noob account before during the early stages of its road to max, but it's still working. I have no idea why, but it is going to be coming out soon. The Tavali method, which I've mentioned in the binding contracts video, is coming soon as well. I just need to find a time to make it. I know this week has been very light on the video content, but I've got a video coming up regarding Dag Kings and the next new series on the main account. We don't really do many series videos on this account. It's never really had a series. It's more just diving in on the high level money makers. I've also got a list of money makers which are coming through soon as well. I just need to get time to record them and then edit them. So hopefully after this week, which has been a bit sketch, I will be picking it back up to the normal standard. So if you do enjoy it and you want to see more, please subscribe and like the video and leave any comments of anything else you want to see, or if you know of any of the money makers that I've not done and you want to see me make a video of them as well. So I hope you enjoyed. If you have, please leave a like and I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.